What is evergreen content? Have you ever posted something and then hours you feel like it's completely gone or buried in the news feed and all your work has been wasted? Been there, done that, sucks, it's awful. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to make evergreen content where you post it one time and it feeds you for years to come. Let's dive in. I have created over 700 podcast episodes, 400 YouTube videos before doing this format. I think I've been on 200 guest podcasts. I'm in 10 different books people have written. I've written guest chapters. And not all of it's been worth it. I'm just gonna tell you right now, like, yes, it helps with the influencership. It certainly helps with getting our Capless Pig logo out there, but it's not all worth it. There's been certain styles of content that has been way more beneficial, way more, like in a week compared to everything that we've done. In this video, I'm gonna walk through, regardless of whatever platform you choose, if you're gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna be consistent with my evergreen content on Facebook or YouTube or whatever platform you're going for, what I'm gonna show you in this video is 3 things that all platforms wanna see from you so it actually goes places and feeds you leads for life. Now let's dive in. The first thing all platforms wanna see from you is they wanna make sure that you're playing the game of that platform. Let me explain what I mean by that. I was probably 400 podcast episodes in. We were starting by filming a video much like this, and then we would transcribe the video and it would be a blog. We would rip the audio, now it'd be a podcast. We'd take a picture of a certain spot, now it's an Instagram post. I mean, we were repurposing so much. One video would go to 17 platforms. I did that for 2 years. It's extremely expensive, not very effective, and one of the reasons why was because of what I'm talking about right now. You gotta play the platform game that platform requires. For example, this is what was happening. I was making a YouTube video and I would rip the YouTube video and make the podcast, and neither platform was really growing. A little bit, not much. And I started talking to a YouTube expert and I was like, how come I can't get these podcast style videos to go very far on YouTube? And what was interesting about it, what was hard about it was, the guy goes, Steven, think about YouTube. What kind of energy, what kind of engagement style is YouTube? He's like, it's like Times Square. Have you ever been to Times Square in New York? Right? YouTube is like Times Square. He's like, what's podcasting like? He's like, podcasting is like Country Road. The problem is that you're taking Country Road style material, right? And you're putting it into Times Square expecting that it's gonna do well. Totally different. Country Road is laid back. I can talk for 30 minutes on a podcast. People love it. If I do that on a YouTube video, y'all leave, right? It doesn't work. You have to play the game of the platform that you choose. So evergreen content, how can you actually go far? We actually have gone a lot further faster by cutting down the number of platforms that we choose to publish to. We cut them down like crazy. We only go to 1 or 2 now. One's YouTube, what's up? The other is podcast. And the reason why we do that is because they're what we call a staple platform. Think about this also. If I'm gonna go in and start doing something on Instagram, I could spend all day creating a cool Instagram video and it's gone in 24 hours. Oh, that's awful. My first podcast show though, to compare that to, my first podcast show still gets more downloads than the rest of my material combined. It's crazy. And it was like 6 years ago. Okay, staple platforms are platforms that when you choose to publish to them, they grow over time because there's an SEO aspect to it. It's not like Instagram or Snapchat or, it's not like a TikTok where it's gone, right? It's gone. I don't marry those platforms. You can't really do evergreen content on those platforms because it erases every 24 hours. Like, it's literally not possible. And so what I chose to do is like, I'm gonna develop an asset in my life that is around content, but I'm gonna do it on platforms that literally reward me over time versus just leave. And so that's what I would say is, first off, choose one of these staple platforms, blogs, right? YouTube, podcasts. Those are really 3 of the hardcore kind of staple long-time platforms. Choose one, marry it, and then make sure you're playing the game that platform's asking you to play. Don't do Country Road and Times Square. You're gonna fail. Okay, the second thing every platform needs to see from you is consistency. It's just, you have to be consistent with your content production. All the algorithms, especially these staple platforms, all these algorithms are gonna favor your evergreen style content if they also see that you are committed to them. And so if you continue to publish on those platforms, it's one of the best ways to make your stuff have free traffic in the future. And so this is how I do that. I like to batch produce my content. So every month we film in one day all these videos. Whenever I'm podcasting, I either will podcast in my truck driving home or coming back, and I just use the normal voice app. Or I will sit down and pound out 2 or 3 podcast episodes in front of my microphone, my nice mic in front of my computer. It's just, this batching concept is one of the ways I can actually be consistent. There's a few people that have gotten really, really big by making a new video every day and they don't batch, that's fine. It's also full time. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot. That's the only thing you're going to be doing. So the way that I get around that is I make sure to batch produce all of my content, and I set a time where I'm consistently saying, like, for example, Tuesday mornings for me typically are, that's when I like to do podcast interviews. For about the first 2 years of me leaving my job, every Tuesday morning I had 3 time slots where I could get on other people's shows. We just knew that, and that was how we were consistently getting more reach. While I was consistently batching content as well. And for years, I always had 6 weeks of content created at all times. So I was always 6 weeks ahead so that all these agencies I was involved in could go do it. So consistency is a huge piece of that. Now, one of the things that they're gonna love also on all these staple platforms is that if you title your show or whatever you do or your channel, either your name or something that your market would be interested in. This is like free traffic galore. If I can sit back and I can name, like my first show's name was Sales Funnel Radio. That was really good because the market I was speaking to, pretty solely at that time, it's bigger now, but the market I was speaking to solely at that time was just people who wanted to build sales funnels. So I made something called Sales Funnel Radio. Who would listen to that? My dream customer. Does that make sense? We went and we created another show recently called Launch for Profit. That's broader. That's listened to by more than just funnel people. That's listened to by internet marketers as a whole. How do I launch for profit online? Right? And so whatever you choose to theme, you need to be consistent. Theme it something. If it's not your name, then theme it something that your market would be interested in, and then be consistent. That's the whole name of the game of it. Before I show you the most important piece, frankly, of all of this and how I've turned content into leads, subscribe. This is free for you. It's very valuable stuff. This is better than a lot of people's paid stuff, if I can be so bold, which I will be. Hey guys, down in the comments below, I want you to, please don't put any links, but if you have a show or if you have a channel, tell us about it. I'd like to know what it is, actually. I want to see where it is. We can look to see where you are. If it makes sense, we'll follow. And I want to be able to see a little shout out moment, okay? Shout yourself out. What is the content that you've been consistent with? Put in the comments down below so we can all see. The third thing every single platform wants to see from you is engagement. They need to see engagement. Whenever you put a post up, whenever you put a video, a podcast, whatever that is, they need to see that you're engaging with them. So whether you are responding to comments, which I'm okay responding to, but I do watch them, I see them, whether it's responding to comments or it's you listening to other people's advice on shows, whatever that is, they need you to play the engagement part of their algorithm and make sure that that's part of your plan. It's the other reason why I encourage people to not choose like 1,000 platforms. Just marry 1 or 2 platforms, stick with them long term, and you start to reap the rewards pretty hard, I'd say in 9 to 12 months. And I'm just telling you, if that freaks you out, it doesn't need to be that, but that's typically where I start to see it. Once you've passed that barrier, it's leads for life, baby, for free. It's awesome, but it's this engagement piece. So what I want to do real quick is anytime somebody asks like, Steve, what's your content strategy? I contend that there is content and then there is marketing. I don't make content, okay? I did that for hundreds of episodes. I did that forever. Content is something that makes me awareness focused. It makes this omnipresent feel. When I was batching content and then producing 17 assets per episode for years, that was content, not marketing. Let me explain what I mean by that. Content is like this omnipresence thing where I'm gonna stay in front of you just to stay in front of you. Marketing is measurable. How can I create a video? Watch for it in this video. I'm doing it right now. Okay, watch for it. What am I doing right now that makes this marketing and not just content? Call to actions, okay? That's one of the biggest reasons it's a piece of marketing. There is a call to action that is in the description. I'm gonna encourage you to click later on. And think about what that's gonna do. I'm not just saying, cool stuff, see you later, right? What I'm doing is I'm saying, this is really the top of my funnel. This video right here, this is the top of my funnel, not the first page. And this is the first thing that I'm gonna do to say, hey, this is some cool stuff. You like this value, right? I know I got giant eyeballs, but I promise my stuff's some good crap. You should go click the link in the description. Right now, I can measure that. I don't want content, I want marketing. I made that mistake for years. I wasted literally hundreds of thousands of dollars wasted because I made content that I couldn't measure, that wasn't based on a customer objection to buying, that wasn't based on someone saying, I would buy, except I need to have this solved for me. And so what I've did is I shifted all of my content to a marketing content strategy. And now what I do is every single one of my videos, you want evergreen content? Anchor what they're about, anchor what the things are about, anchor it around moving the ball closer to the sale, moving the ball closer to the hole. Does that make sense? Every single piece of content that we create especially in the last year and a half, you can start to see like, there's been a big shift. And while this is the interesting part, guys, while some of the viewership has dropped, the revenue has gone way up. So while it's not always as omnipresent, some of you guys ask in the comments too, how come this isn't bigger? Yeah, we asked the same question, but our revenue is up. The right metrics have mattered now that we've shifted this. So I dare you, if you're gonna go make evergreen content, don't. Make evergreen marketing. And yes, it's still a piece of content, but it's the way that you treat it, where it's themed based off of moving the ball closer to the hole, and it's also measured with a call to action at the end. That's how you know it's worth it. Hey, help me measure this video. Go to buildyourperfectoffer.com. Buildyourperfectoffer.com is a free 5-day sprint style challenge with me. Basically, in 5 days, I'm gonna help you learn and understand the framework that I use for all of my $1 million offers. You can do this if you don't have a list and you have no revenue and you have no money for ads. That's usually who attends them, by the way, but it is a great place to start if you're just starting out. Go to buildyourperfectoffer.com. I'll put the link in the description for you to click there.